While our teams have been creative in trying to resolve the situation by now putting 4680 cells in non-structural packs,
Tesla still hasn't announced a $25,000 car. No Model 2 reveal. No launch date. No price confirmation. So why are so many people suddenly talking about mass production in 2026? The answer isn't a new car, it's Tesla's latest battery updates. Quiet changes in chemistry, pack design, and manufacturing that started surfacing over the past year. And that raises the real question. Do these 2026 battery moves finally make a $25,000 Tesla buildable at scale, not just theoretically affordable? In this video, we're not predicting release dates or repeating rumors. We're looking at Tesla's recent battery strategy updates, what they change about cost and manufacturing, and whether if Tesla decides to pull the trigger, a Model 2 level car could realistically go into mass production. If this kind of clear, straight-to-the-point breakdown is the type of content you actually enjoy, then consider subscribing to AutoGearshift. We're getting close to 24,000 subscribers, a milestone we've been working toward for a long time. And your click genuinely helps us get there. Hit subscribe and join us, let's cross that number together. What exactly changed in Tesla's battery technology? Over the past week, several very specific and measurable developments have emerged in Tesla's battery technology, and unlike many past announcements, these aren't about future promises or concepts. According to Teslarati, Tesla confirmed in its Q4 and FY 2025 update letter that it is now producing 4680 battery cells, where both the anode and cathode are made using the dry electrode process, a technique originally introduced at Battery Day in 2020, but widely considered extremely difficult to industrialize. The dry electrode process eliminates solvent-based cathode drying, which is one of the most energy-intensive and costly parts of battery manufacturing. By making this work at full scale, Tesla significantly cuts production cost, factory complexity, energy use, and potential waste. According to the company, Elon Musk himself posted on X that making the dry electrode process work at scale was incredibly difficult, and congratulated Tesla's engineering and supply teams for achieving it, language that signals this is not incremental improvement, but a real breakthrough. Also, in the same disclosure, Tesla stated it has begun producing battery packs for certain Model Y vehicles using these in-house 4680 cells. That's not a pilot run or a demo board, that's real production application. It's one thing to prove something in a lab. It's another to run it through a real factory workflow where cars are getting delivered to customers. For viewers who remember the early days of EVs when battery promises rarely translated into real-world cars, this is a signal worth paying attention to. After decades of hearing battery breakthroughs that never reached real cars, do you feel this time is different, or are you still waiting to be convinced? Comment yes if this feels real to you, or no if you're still skeptical. Who is this battery strategy really designed for? Once you understand what actually changed in Tesla's battery technology, the next question becomes unavoidable. Who is this strategy really for? And just as importantly, who is it not for? This battery strategy is not designed for flagship vehicles like the Model S, Model X, or even the Cybertruck. Those operate in price segments where battery cost, while still important, is not the deciding constraint. Margins exist. Buyers expect premium pricing. Tesla can absorb higher battery costs without threatening the business case. That's not where the pressure is. This aligns directly with what Elon Musk has been saying consistently for several years. Often without immediate product confirmation, Musk has repeatedly framed the 4680 cell and dry cathode process not as a performance upgrade but as an affordability enabler. In other words, this technology exists not to make Teslas faster, but to make them cheaper to build at scale. That's where the connection to the long-rumored $25,000 Tesla, commonly referred to as Model 2, becomes critical. A $25,000 electric vehicle cannot exist if battery costs remain tied to traditional wet process manufacturing. Interior simplification alone doesn't solve the problem. Feature cuts don't solve the problem. The battery itself dominates the economics. If battery costs stay high, the math simply doesn't work. What makes the current moment different is not a few promises, but where Tesla is applying this technology first. In late January 2026, Electrive reported that Tesla has quietly resumed using its in-house 4680 battery cells in Tesla production, after previously shifting those cells away from the Model Y to prioritize Cybertruck supply. This reversal matters more than it seems at first glance. The Model Y is Tesla's highest volume vehicle globally. It operates at a price point where cost sensitivity is real, but expectations for reliability and durability are also high. That combination makes it the ideal validation platform for new battery technologies. By reintroducing 4680 cells into the Model Y, Tesla is effectively testing this battery strategy in the harshest possible environment: real customers, real driving conditions, real service cycles, at real scale. This is not a lab experiment. It's not a limited pilot program. It's production. The Model Y in this context becomes the bridge. If dry electrode 4680 batteries can perform reliably in the Model Y, maintaining yield, durability, and predictable cost, then the next logical step is obvious. The technology moves downstream into vehicles where cost pressure is even higher and margins are thinner. That's where the Model 2 fits. Tesla has never announced Model 2 specifications, and that's not an oversight. Historically, Tesla does not finalize or reveal vehicle programs until the most difficult bottleneck, usually the battery, is largely solved. Battery readiness drives vehicle timing, not marketing calendars. So the shift we're seeing now is subtle but important. The question is no longer whether a $25,000 Tesla is theoretically possible. The question is whether Tesla is now laying the economic and manufacturing groundwork to make such a vehicle viable without sacrificing profitability or reliability. And based on where these batteries are being deployed, that groundwork increasingly looks real. Why these battery changes unlock a $25,000 price point? To understand why these battery changes matter so much, you have to start with a basic reality of electric vehicles. The battery pack is the single most expensive component of the car. Across the EV industry, multiple independent studies consistently estimate that the battery accounts for roughly 30% to 40% of total vehicle cost. Once materials, manufacturing, and integration are included. For a vehicle that needs to sell at $25,000, that means the battery must be dramatically cheaper than what most EVs use today. Historically, industry average battery pack costs have hovered around $120 to $140 per kilowatt hour at the pack level, depending on chemistry and scale. At those prices, even a modest 50 to 55 kilowatt hour battery, which would be typical for an affordable compact EV, could cost from $6,000 to $7,500 just for the pack. That alone would consume a quarter to a third of the entire vehicle's target price. This is where Tesla's dry cathode 4680 strategy changes the equation. By eliminating solvent-based electrode coating and drying, Tesla removes one of the most energy-intensive and capital-heavy steps in battery manufacturing. That leads to cost reductions at multiple layers simultaneously, fewer production steps, no solvent recovery systems, lower energy consumption, and smaller factory footprints. Industry analysis suggests that once fully industrialized, the dry electrode process could reduce battery manufacturing costs by 30% or more, with some theoretical models suggesting potential reductions approaching 40 to 50% compared to conventional wet cathode production. Even at the conservative end of that range, the implications are significant. If Tesla can drive effective pack costs towards $70 to $80 per kilowatt hour, a 50 kilowatt-hour battery could cost $3,500 to $4,000 instead of $7,000. That difference alone could free up thousands of dollars in the vehicle cost structure without cutting range, safety, or durability. That's the difference between an EV that sounds affordable and one that can actually be built profitably at $25,000. In other words, These battery changes don't just reduce cost. They unlock an entirely new pricing tier that was previously out of reach. How does this enable true mass production? When you strip away the hype and look at the economics of electric vehicles, one reality becomes clear: price matters. But scale matters even more. A $25,000 Tesla is only meaningful if Tesla can build millions of vehicles per year at a cost that makes profit and pricing sustainable. That's what true mass production means: not making a handful of low-cost cars, but doing so at a size and pace that reshapes the automotive market. The dry electrode process has implications that go well beyond cost per kilowatt-hour. Simpler production lines, higher throughput potential, lower defect rates over time. Simplification here is not just about reducing costs on paper. It's about making repeatable, scalable manufacturing feasible. Tesla's approach gives it a structural advantage in scaling production. First, vertical integration. Tesla designs and manufactures its own cells increasingly in-house. Many traditional automakers still buy cells from external suppliers, which can limit visibility into cost and yield. In contrast, Tesla can optimize its entire production pipeline from cell to vehicle. Second, control over supply and process. By managing more of its battery production internally, especially with dry electrode cells, Tesla reduces the number of external dependencies and tariff sensitivities that can slow scaling. Third, experience curve. Tesla's multi-year investment in gigafactory layouts and production techniques means it has more operational experience than newcomers. This experience isn't flashy, but it matters when you're trying to consistently build millions of units. In many ways, Tesla's battery strategy isn't just an engineering roadmap, it's a manufacturing roadmap. It's designed to reduce cost and reduce variability, which is what every mass production system must do as volume increases. Tesla didn't announce a $25,000 Model 2. They didn't show a prototype. They didn't give a launch date. But they did quietly fix the one problem that made that car impossible before. So the question is no longer, can Tesla build it? The question is when they choose to. If Tesla has finally solved the hardest part of EV manufacturing, the battery, then what's actually left standing in the way of a truly affordable Tesla? If you appreciate slower, clearer explanations of complex technology without hype, without buzzwords, you're in the right place. Subscribe if you'd like more breakdowns like this, focused on what actually affects cost, reliability, and long-term ownership.